everybody, it's Stalker13R, and I wanted to start out the day with a shout out to the Vyper Clan, and say thanks for letting me platoon up with you. In no particular order, we'll shout out Razor71, Video Game Master, Rabid Sasquatch Zero, Big Jim DK, Hunter for True Life, and possibly more that were in and out of the platoon as we went throughout the day. A great bunch of tankers and super nice guys. Really appreciate being able to platoon up with you guys and sharing some experience. And of course the Banzi show was running around there. He originally got me the invite to that platoon. And then we had from the Ruler Clan, shout out to you guys, Saber of Violet. Super tanker. Really impressed. So, I've been platooning up lately, and it's something I haven't done a lot of in the past, so we're going to get a shot on him. But I've noticed something about my behavior when I platoon up. Like here, that's a tier 9 tank I'm in. I know the artillery is in the back corner there. I know I'm in sight, I know I'm spotted, and I know I'm in the open. Why did I sit there and take that round? You know, I knew better than that at tier 5, and yet here I am doing it again. So I think unlike the name of my channel, Team Able, that stands for anything but last, because the more you try to be first, the more you end up doing the worst. I think I forget that when I'm in the platoon, and I think I got that sorted out. Next week's episode, we'll have the Train Clan back on, and we'll get some more footage of those guys. So tune in next week to see that. So I'm going to get a couple of shots in here, and me and Banzi are going to finish up this game, but, if you're new to platooning and your performance isn't what it is, ask yourself, are you trying to make more aggressive plays than you know you should, trying to put on numbers for the platoon? Because that is not a recipe for success. And I'm going to show you a couple instances where I did some things like that today. And again, that's just to show that it's not all about I'm the greatest tanker in the world, because I tell you what, after platooning up with these guys, I know I'm not the greatest tanker in the world, because these guys were truly fantastic. So here's Banzi, he's coming around, he's working an E4. Now is he going to take all that damage and the kill credit for himself, or is he going to play on a team and draw this guy back out into the street where the artillery can get him? Because he's a good team player and he's playing smart. So shout out to you, Banzi, once again, doing the right thing. Now he's got all his HP left, and he's going to be in a position to help out these guys clean up these last targets. So, I really appreciate the opportunity to platoon up with some folks. A little bit about the etiquette. The best way to do that seems to be form a party on your Xbox Live, put it on party chat, and then invite people to your party, and then invite the party to the platoon, so that, you don't clog up the airways with all of your platoon chatter, in the regular game. Because then everybody's going to stop and mute you, and, that's going to prevent your team from getting into place, and then later on everybody will have you muted because you talk on the mic. So that seems to be the etiquette for platooning up, and these guys did that, and that was awesome. And I did get a shot in here, but not in time to save the artillery, who is one of our mates, and I'm going to take a couple of rounds in the back of the tank before I get myself sorted out. So we're not off to a good start. Another benefit of platooning is the tracks aren't an area of the map that I commonly come to, so I'm still getting all of the lines of sight down. I'm generally over on the 8 line or up on the hill. So, we'll duke it out here with this 103 just a little bit, but I know I have to be somewhat careful. And we'll see what I can't get done. But again, this was not one of the games where I came out as the top player. Not that that didn't happen throughout the day, but I had to get a little warmed up before we really got going. So we've got the other guys, and I think that's Banzi heading out into the train field there. We've got Video Game Master ahead of me. I know Sasquatch is running around here somewhere. And I want to say it was Big Jim on this game early on, but I'm not positive who was in this specific game. Like I say, there was a lot of people coming and going. I've got my capturing footage process down a lot better for, and look at that, I broadside. What am I, tier 2? Hey, what's around this corner? I think I'll just drive out there and see. I only need 100, and 40 hit points to get through the rest of the game. I'll be alright. I can give up a couple of hits like that. Alright, so that's embarrassing. So there we go. Do not be overconfident in a platoon and forget all of your skills and your techniques as an individual tanker. Or the platoon's going to have to make up for it without you. So, there we go. But that's okay, we still got some guys out there. Video Game Master, Rabid Sasquatch, they're still in the hunt. And I picked this game. Video Game Master is a great tanker. And he gets hemmed in here by one of the guys that was, from the pub part of the match. And he's trying to get set up to side scrape on this corner and block this corridor. And this autoloader keeps getting behind him, and it's not a guy from our platoon. I mean, he's trying to side scrape, he's getting in there. He could go to the left, around the back of this building that's to the left of him. He could go down behind that building and then block these guys from rushing Video Game Master and giving Video Game Master the room to actually properly side scrape this corner like he's trying but can't, because this Muppet's behind him blocking him in and forcing him to give up those shots in his lower plate. So, once again, never ever get behind a tanker when he's doing his thing. See, if he'd have been just up the street, these guys couldn't have swarmed him like this, because they'd have been giving up their flank to an autoloader, and they wouldn't have been near as eager to rush in. And that cost Video Game Master his HP here, and got him taken out of the game. We still end up winning this game, but it was no thanks to that other autoloader on the other side that wasn't in our platoon. Rabid Sasquatch here is going to put out some damage and clean it up. But I'm not going to call that guy out by name, that was in behind Video Game Master there, because we're not about being negative on the channel. We just wanted to point out the technical issue. So we'll push on to this game, and here we are on Lakeview. And isn't that what this map is called? I always get them wrong. So we've got a guy that's on our platoon, he's scouting that river road, and we've got another guy over here on the corner, and they're waiting to soften up those targets as they come across so that they can get them spotted up and we can get them some damage before we have to brawl in the city. And that's how I like to do it if you've watched any of my Situation Dictates videos. If you haven't, go back through the deal, or I have a playlist that's called that, and you can check those videos out. So I'm going to take the chance and push through town and hope I don't run into 4 heavies coming the other way, because I've got to clear this spotter out so that they can push farther down that river road. And I put one into the pole or something there. The building, I think, stopped that. And so I know I'm spotted out here, and I'm going to take this guy down, but oh, there's the artillery. So can I get out of here before he sees me? I could wait till I wasn't spotted to stick my nose back out, but, we'll be a little brave. I think he might have been just to the right of where I was shooting there. But I've got to get back in, because we've got a T-44 that went through the top side, and I don't want to take a chance. There's plenty of guys back here, but I want to make sure as bottom tier that we have the numbers in place to deal with those offset tier issues. And I can't do anything getting up here and spotting back into their cap, the enemy cap, until my guys are moved up and in a position that they can shoot at the people that I see. Here in a second, we're going to see a light tank push up too far, and he's going to push into that cap area before we're in place to shoot. And he's going to get taken out, and he's not going to get any spotting assist. There he goes going in. And he's overextended. We can't shoot at those targets yet, so why are you going in by yourself? So there's a little food for thought. Now I know that artillery's still got a beat on me. He wants some vengeance. He's trying to get in. And I'm going to come up and do that spotting job and see if I can't get these targets lit. I'll bounce one off there. Now I've got to be careful because I know artillery wants a piece of me, and he's probably looking this way, so I'm going to pull back and see if I can't bait that shot. Let's take a look, go back, and there it comes in. Now, while he's on the reload, I'm going to push this open ground into that low area. That way I'll be down below the line of fire of this Borsig, and I'll be pushing up on that cap area. So this should not only force that artillery to be on the reload, but he should also be repositioning. and that'll take him out of the game for a little bit, and that'll bring that enemy team's overall DPM down. So I'm going to poke up a couple of times, and we're going to play Who Are You Going to Shoot At Next with the Borsig, and we're just going to continue to work methodically. So, you see, this is the kind of tanking that I need to be doing when I'm in the platoon. Is, keeping my tank hold down, taking those shots of opportunity, only spotting targets when there's someone there to shoot at them. Remembering all those basic things that make World of Tanks a great game, and not throwing them out the window just because I'm trying to put some numbers on the board. To save face with the guys that you just platooned up with. Because the opposite's going to end up happening. At least that's been my experience. So, I'm going to put some cat pressure on here, and I'm going to talk about the small mini-map. A lot of the shows say you have to have the big square mini-map down in that lower right-hand corner. And I don't agree, and here's why. I could see that those two mediums on my mini-map were pushing on my artillery. I already knew that they were over there, and I don't need the whole map up to know just where they are on the map, taking out my artillery. So I have that level of information here. The small mini-map always orients to where your barrel is pointing or where you're looking. And it doesn't end up, flipped where left is right and right is left because you're looking at the map upside down. It always orients to your 12 o'clock. And that makes a big difference for me, and I never get confused when I make that confusion. And then if there's a lull in the battle, I hit my 2 pages looking button, and I'll have to figure out what the real name of that button is one of these days. And, not only will it show me the full map, but it'll also show me the tank list, so I know when there's 3 mediums left. Is it the top tier mediums? Is it the bottom tier mediums? What level of threat am I dealing with? So I even have more information when I'm looking at it. So there I was able to come in on top. It actually did happen once or twice throughout the day. But, I'm trying to alternate between I made a big mistake and I actually did something that was okay. So here I am. I got my tier 10 Action X. I'm looking down the street. There's only 15 enemies left in the game, so how could anything go bad? They're running in fear of Stalker 13R. And why wouldn't they? He's a ferocious tank on the battlefield. And I'm going to pull way out around the corner and stop to aim in at a Death Star. Are you kidding me? This is the kind of tank play I have. Honestly, I usually play better than that. But I didn't on that, instant, and I thought I'd go ahead and throw that in for funsies, so, I'm not trying to, tell everybody I'm the greatest or only showcase the games where I do good. So here's that, the Ruler Clan, Saber of Violet, super tanker, excellent player, technically correct. I think this was the only tank I saw him in all day that didn't have 3 marks on the barrel, so we're going to watch him, work this, but this game's going to go south on him, and he's not going to have a whole lot of help. Certainly not from me, who died like a muppet in the first 45 seconds of the game. And I'll see if I can't redeem myself in the next game and put some numbers on the board. But this Vyper Clan, it's a really small clan, and they're a good bunch of guys. They all, knew each other really well, and they platoon up on a regular base, and they asked me, so, hey, Stalker, how's the A7 Cav clan? And embarrassingly, I had to tell him, well, they were nice enough to let me in, but honestly, I don't know. I've sent a couple of them, a message here and there, but, I've never platooned up with them. And I want to make it clear that that's not their fault, that's my fault. I haven't sent them the message. I haven't been, platooning up a whole lot. So I'm going to have to get with my own clan and actually make a video and highlight some of those players, because I know they're good players, and that's why I asked them if I could join their clan, and they were gracious enough to accept. So now that I've decided to start platooning up, I'm going to have to get in a game with some of them, and we'll bring in some of their talent and skills. So here we go, we're in the next game. I know there's a couple of targets just to my 1 o'clock there, but look at this. 1600 health, and I've got an IS-7 bearing down on me in my Action X, and I'm down to 592. Will I be able to pull it off? I'm going to give him one more in the lower plate and then try to turn and get that angle. And I did. I actually bounced that shot. That was a whole bunch of luck, and, you know, I don't know if we'll call any of that skill. But now if I kept going around him and got out in front of him, I thought he'd be able to push me into the water. So I used my gun barrel to put right on his gun barrel and take one in the gun. And then I was able to put one in the back of him. So even though that was still a pretty lucky exchange, that's the kind of technical play I should be, you know, keeping my nerve to play with every time I'm in the platoon. And, you know, I think a lot of that newness wore off pretty quick, and I started putting up better numbers as the day went on. But here's Video Game Master. You can see he's out there. He's already put some good numbers on the board, and so has Saber of Violet. You know, Video Game Master, you know, I was hoping to get more of your footage. You were doing some great plays throughout the day. You know, Razor, Sasquatch, you know, all you guys. We're really doing some stuff. I've got some better technique now for being able to capture other people's perspectives. You can see this is my burning Hulk that Saber of Violet is using to work this guy. So at least I can still be some use after I, you know, only took out the one tank and I don't know, put some marginal numbers on the board. I think I got like 2,000 damage. So, you know, I carried my health points and damage and got one kill. But nothing like Saber of Violet here, because I only got just a little bit of the end of this game where they put the stats up. But it was 7,990 damage and 6 kills. And that was in this M48 with 3 stars on the barrel, and for good reason. So congratulations to you, sir. And you're going to see why here. Even at the end of the game, even outnumbering him, all of the tank play, he doesn't just start rushing in like a Muppet. He still keeps that technical gameplay all the way to the end. Even when the barrel's pointed the other way, even when we're at the end, he's still using his cover, he's still doing his dance. And, you know, that's the kind of thing I learn from when I watch these videos, and I'm super glad to be able to capture some of this footage. And, you know, to the rest of the guys in Vyper Clan who are doing good work all day, I'd like to platoon up with you again and catch some more of the footage of you guys, and be able to see what you're doing. In next week's video, I'll platoon up with the Train Clan again, and you'll see my video capture techniques are improved there, and I'll be able to showcase some more of the work that they're getting done, because they're a great bunch of guys, and I really appreciate you guys letting me in on the platoon and having a good time. So watch real quick, you know, after the stats pull up here, and you'll see Video Game Masters in that number 2 spot as well. So good show to you too, sir. We'll see if we can't pull out what your damage was. I think it was 3,000 damage, maybe 2,500. I forget which game is which by the time I've got it edited out. But yeah, 2,377 for Video Game Master. So good work to you. Thanks for letting me platoon up, guys. I hope we can do it again, and I'll be able to capture more of your footage because it's a lot better than mine. Shout out to the Vyper Clan. You're a great bunch of guys, and I really appreciate the opportunity to come in. And as always, Banzi from the Banzi Kamikaze Show. Check him out. He's in my saved channels. I'm Stalker13R. Thanks for watching.